So I've gotten a few questions on how I set up the Helix when I'm using it live, so I thought why not do a video about it and explain in detail. So as of now I've got two bands mainly. I've got 6 Feet Deeper and I've got Structural Disorder. So both bands are a bit different when it comes to the tone that I'm using. In 6 Feet Deeper I'm using more of a rock distortion type sound, and with Structural Disorder is more of a metal oriented sound. So I'm gonna walk you through how I've set up the Helix and how I've set up the DARKGLASS M900 for these two types of sounds. So let's start off with taking a closer look at the 6 Feet Deeper preset. Okay, so what I've got going here is that I'm running two outputs from the Yamaha Attitude bass. The P-style pickup goes into the Helix via the guitar input, and the woofer pickup goes into the FX Return 1. And in the Helix I got two separate signal paths going. So the first path, which you can see here, is the one I'm using on the P-style pickup, so I'm gonna solo that one out, and it sounds like this. And as you can hear, there's not much low end going on there. I'm gonna get to that in a second. So that signal path goes through the Helix and then into the DARKGLASS M900, which I'm using for a bit of EQ and as stage volume and stage monitor. So I used this setup last weekend when I was playing with 6 Feet Deeper, and it worked like a charm, I have to say. So what's going on here is that I'm going into the Helix, and in the Helix I'm splitting the signal into two. So I've got the profile pierced preamp going here. So we've got the clean pierced there, and we got the distorted one there. And after the distorted one I've also added a noise gate. So I can quite easily turn the distortion off and on using the Helix. And what's also great about this setup is that I can use the distortion circuits of the DARKGLASS M900 if I wanted to. So after the split, we're going into a compressor, and then I've got a simple pitch. And we got a chorus. And then I've actually got a cabinet which is bypassed as of now, because if I wanted to I could run the Helix straight to the front of house. So when I'm using this setup, like I said, I'm using the M900 as my stage volume / stage monitor, but I'm also running a direct signal from the M900 to the front of house so that they get both tones. And speaking of both tones, the woofer pickup goes into the FX Return 1. So what we've got going here is that I got a 3-brand compressor, I've got an octaver, which I'll show you soon, and I've got a amp and cabinet setup. So this is a sound with a lot of low end going on. So this clean tone goes from my XLR output straight to the front of house, which means that the PA can do all of the heavy lifting with the low end. So just the P-style pickup sounds like this. And just the woofer sounds like this. And combined. Honestly, I was really blown away by the tone that I was getting out of this setup, and how clear the high end sounded and how supportive the low end felt, especially when I felt it through the subwoofers beneath the stage and whatnot. So that was a huge plus. So anyways, let's go to the second preset that I've got going. So this is a more of a metal type sound. This preset features a pitch down function because I need a low B string and occasionally also a high G string when I'm playing with Structural Disorder. So this is a way of achieving both without having a 5-string bass, which is nice. So when I'm using this tone, I'm only using one pickup, the P-style pickup, but this preset also features two separate signal paths and two separate outputs. So it all starts off with the pitch down function, which turns the standard 4-string into a BEAD bass. So after the pitch down, the signal is split into two. So I've got a distorted signal here that's running through the 1/4-inch output into the DARKGLASS M900, which I'm using for distortion and for stage monitoring. And then the other signal path is a clean one that goes through the XLR outputs to the front of house. So this allows the PA to do the heavy lifting with the low end and allows me to have a more clear stage sound, so to speak. So in this preset I've also got some distortion going of the Obsidian 7000, which is based on the DARKGLASS B7K Ultra, and it sounds like this. It's a clean tone. And that's a distorted tone. So after the distortion we got a compressor, and then I've got a chorus, which I'm using mainly for the intro to Someone to Save. And so on. Then I've got a cab impulse in case I wanted to go direct. And then I've got a noise gate. And in a clean signal I got the Obsidian 7000 as well, but I'm using it as a clean preamp and not for distortion. And I've also got a compressor, and I've got a cab sim as I'm running that signal direct to the front of house. So altogether I'm really happy with this setup. The Line 6 Helix LT and the DARKGLASS M900 work great together. By splitting the signal into two separate paths, no matter if you're using a dual output bass or if you're just splitting the signal into the Helix, it's a great way of letting the PA doing the heavy lifting, like I said. So there you have it. I hope that this rundown has been somewhat informative to you. If you have any further questions regarding the Line 6 Helix LT and the DARKGLASS M900, I'm happy to answer them. Just leave them down here in the comment section and I'll get to them as soon as I can. Make sure that you subscribe to my channel and hit that bell button so that you get a nice notification every time I post a video. So with that being said, I'll see you next time. Take care. Bye!